sure the guys at home they are so eager. Hawapost something ni nini mnafanya?
Sasa hatuwezi angalia hawa wako nje ndio wanajua.
5.
Bwana asifiwe. Welcome to the Pcea Youth Talk Show. Today, we're going to be talking about matters COVID and the impact it has had on the young people. My name is Karen Wangari Maina. I will be your host for today. Joining me on this afternoon is on my right, Trace Kunjiri, and on my left,
Peter Gitao.
They are going to be helping me delve into the matters that have really affected us. It has been 100 days since the first case was reported in Kenya. Globally, many people have died. Locally, over 4,000 cases have been confirmed, and many other deaths, as well as good things that have been reported that have been the recoveries. What can we say? You know, I'm reminded of the story of Jesus aboard that ship with the disciples. There was a storm. But even after the storm rocked their boat, he woke up and brought matters to a calm. Karibu and engage with us. Please follow us on Pcea Zimmerman Parish on Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pcea Zimmerman Parish, as well as follow us on our Nimpa's YouTube channel, Nimpa Digital Media, through whose courtesy we have this live broadcast. Karibuni sana. Now, on to the matters of the day. I would like to just ask my fellow panelists, has COVID really affected you? Joyce, has COVID-19 had any effect on your life?
Thank you, Karen. Since when we got the COVID case in Kenya, it has really affected me as a youth, and I'm sure even the youth outside there, they have been affected. Basically, it has affected me in generally, socially, whereby, you know, we are social beings, so I'm not able to interact with my friends, with my families as it was there before. It has also affected me emotionally. No one was prepared for this, so there is that fear of how to deal with COVID and its effect. Then economically, with the effect of COVID on the economy, it has affected me as a youth, and I'm sure even you can bear me witness, Karen, it has affected you as a youth. With the economy being affected, there is a rise in the expenses and the income has gone down. So generally, I have been affected.
Yeah. Good to hear that, Joyce. Mchungaji,
Yes.
first things first.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you very much.
So,
I really appreciate.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
So has COVID-19 had an effect on your life?
I would say definitely yes.
Yes.
And it has affected me in diverse ways.
Yes.
Number one, religiously. It has affected me because I'm used to come to church on Sunday, meet a big crowd, preach to many people saying hallelujah, amen, and I feel the warmth of the Christian fraternity.
Yes.
But today I come, it's only the pews, a few people, 2 or 3, and therefore it has affected me somehow. Even when I'm trying to say, have you heard that? Or hallelujah, I don't have a response.
Right.
So religiously, you may find that it has affected me in one way or the other. The other thing is that it has affected even as a family person. Because a time like today is a Father's Day.
Right.
We every other Father's Day or Mother's Day, I normally have my family, we go out somewhere, we just have fun together, eat a lot of meat and cuckoo and all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
But I can't because we can move a lot. So actually it has, even socially, in fact, almost every area of our lives, COVID-19 has affected us. When I'm coming to work, I have to be stopped by the police. I have to produce some areta that I'm accepted to travel. When we have some functions outside the parish, you see, we have to go to the county commissioners, with the chief, and all those kind of things. And therefore, in general, it has really affected us.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd also attest to the same.
Okay.
You see, as a young person, there's this thing about keeping together with our peers. For
Yes.
instance, if I wanted to visit Joy's place
Yes.
and say a group of girls,
Yeah.
we can't do that anymore because there are all these restrictions.
Yeah.
On a personal level, I've found the increase of stress because now you're spending more time by yourself. Especially if, say, someone has a problem, say mental problem, mental health problem especially, which is a real big case in society. We've really had a hard time.
Yeah.
Now we have panic attacks. People are suffering just being by themselves, and
Sure.
now being also away from family.
Sure.
But on today's show, we want to discuss, can we endure? How do we withstand the difficulty that has come up, especially now occasioned by COVID-19?
Okay.
So perhaps you can give us maybe endurance in such times. How do we go about such things? For instance, we have talked about stress.
Yes.
People are stressed about many things. Boyfriends have broken up with us.
Already.
To Meambiwa, I can't see you.
Oh.
It has been 3 months since I last saw you. A friend of mine just got dumped the other day. Alimwambia, sasa wewe, fimbo ya mbali hayui nyoka. Can't even see you. So how do we endure such things?
Okay.
Yes.
I think what you're talking about is that you're talking about stress.
Yeah.
I mean, COVID-19 has caused a lot of stress to the young people, not only to the young people,
Right.
but to the other people. But for now, we are dealing with the young people.
Right.
I may say stress is the body's response to certain challenging situations. When you have a challenge, a negative or even a positive one, and that challenge comes to you, then your body responds in a way to handle that.
Yeah.
And that is what we call stress.
Yes.
And therefore, if people are stressed, then we must have a solution for this.
Right.
And you're talking about endurance, and you know endurance is one of the greatest things in the Bible that we have to endure.
Yes.
So in order for us to endure, even as young people, number one, you have to put your trust in the Lord. That is number one.
Yes.
Because the Lord will always give you the energy, the strength to overcome these kind of struggles, isn't it?
Yes.
And therefore, I think for me, as a minister, I would say the first thing that you need to do as stress comes and the struggle comes is that you have to trust the Lord, that He will be able to take you through.
Sure.
Number two, you have to actually accept. Because one of the greatest things that people fail to do is to accept the situation. You have to accept the situation. Yeah, I'm in this situation, I'm in this kind of a challenge, then accept it. And then you try to work towards improving your situation.
Yes.
In the sense that probably you've been laid off in your place of work, or your salary has been cut. Once you accept that, then after that, you have to now start working towards looking on how and the means on how now you can be able to make yourself relevant again.
Sure.
Yes.
You know, when you talk about trusting in the Lord, it reminds me about a scripture in Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8, where when now Moses was handing over to Joshua, he was informing Joshua that it is the Lord who goes with them into the promised land,
Yes.
that the Lord would go ahead of them. You know, the whole matter of trust
Yes.
and just accepting the situation. Time had come. You know, I was reading the Bible and it was telling me that Moses had accepted. His time had come. He couldn't cross over. So they needed someone else who's going to go with them. So
Yeah.
acceptance and trusting in the Lord.
Yeah.
Back to the point of stress.
Yes.
Tell me, what does someone who is living in a home Now, let's just face it. You said it has affected you
Yes.
as far as the family sector is concerned.
Yes.
Now, think of homes where the relationship with parents hasn't been the best, because that is the truth that the society has right now.
Yes.
We have homes where we don't have peace. What can a young person living in such a home do to endure this situation?
Okay, thank you, Karen. I think one of the things that we need to realize is that we must bring the fact that understanding is critical.
Yes.
And people to understand the situation they are in. I know probably the young people would want to do what they used to do before COVID came. They want to be given the pocket money or handouts by the parents,
Napate.
and he or she doesn't get.
Yes.
Because the parent also doesn't have a lot of money.
Right.
Because probably the parent where he or she was working, she has been laid off or the salary has been cut.
Sure.
Therefore, I see like the young people need to understand the situation at home. We used to eat chicken probably thrice a week. Now chicken is not coming. Why? Because the parent cannot afford.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think there needs to be a lot of understanding and people to know the situation.
Right.
Number two, the parent should be open. The parent should be open. The parent was getting enough money, 100K, 200K. I mean, he or she was getting good money. Now she's getting maybe a fifth of that or a quarter of that. She needs, or the father or the mother needs to communicate this to the children and to tell them, you see guys, now I used to even do this and that. I used to get a lot of money, but now I can't because the company I'm working with has said that they have to cut my salary.
Yes.
So the parents also needs to communicate this to the young people so that they be in the light. You see, Jesus says, when you know the truth,
It shall set you free.
yeah, John 8:32, when you know the truth. So when they speak the truth and they say the situation, then I think the youth are able to understand, and they themselves are able to understand themselves, to understand the situation that is at home. And then, number three, adjust to the situation.
Right.
Because if they were getting this and they are not getting it now,
Yes.
they understand, they know it's not coming,
Yes.
then after that they start adjusting. Because if they were going out on monthly basis, it is not coming out now, then they adjust and say, yeah, we can wait until this is over. We will come back to it when things are back to normal.
Right.
Sure.
Watu yangu, I hope you're following this conversation. Mchungaji has told us you need to trust in the Lord. In this situation, He's going to see us through. Secondly, you have to accept this situation. COVID, it is going to be with us for a while. And also, we need to adjust our lifestyles. The truth of the matter is, anyway, you also have to understand your parent. Kindly, keep sending in your questions if you have any questions or concerns you'd want us to address. Andika hapo kwa hiyo Facebook page yetu, hapo kwa comments. Pia andika hapo kwa YouTube, kwa comment section. Leta maswali zako, all your concerns. Tuko hapa tuangalie haya maneno, tuyazungumzie. We get to understand these things in depth. Kwa hivyo ni Pcea Zimmerman Parish on Facebook, Pcea Zimmerman Parish on YouTube, na pia Nimpa Digital Media ambao wanatu help ku live stream hii show yetu. I like how we are moving. Jep, mchungaji, I keep coming back to you. You know you're the
It's
voice
okay.
of reason here.
It's okay.
Today being Father's Day,
Yeah.
wewe ndio baba yetu hapa sasa, lazima we seek advice from you.
Sure.
Kanisa linafanya nini, ama kanisa liko wapi katika hii time ya COVID-19? Kanisa inafanya nini?
Okay. You know, I've been going through the history of the church.
Yes.
As far as pandemics are concerned, all other issues affecting the church.
Yeah.
And I have come to notice that this time and this COVID-19 is a special kind of a situation. Because we don't have enough history to show us that there is one time churches were completely closed.
Yeah, even with other pandemics, right?
Yes, with even other pandemics. I know there was this big bad pandemic that we call the Spanish influenza
Yes.
that came straight after, I think, the First World War.
Yes.
But again, it did not affect the whole world per se. It affected, you know, those countries around Spain, the European countries. But again, in the African countries, it was not so much influenced by that, though there was some kind of influence. And therefore, and again, those days the churches were so limited; they were so few. So we don't have enough history for that. But this one, we see the churches, the whole world. We are not talking about one part of the continent.
Sure.
We are talking about the whole world.
Right.
And therefore, as a church, we are seriously affected.
Right.
You know, even personally, I'm affected.
Oh.
Because what I used to get, I don't get it to the full level.
So it is true because they've been saying ati wachungaji wanataka turudi kanisa sababu muhodhi imepungua.
Well, to some extent, some may reason like that, but
Okay.
others will not. And especially a well-structured church, people may not suffer so much
Sure.
because there's something to come in. But coming back to your question about the church, is that we are trying as much as we can so that we can see the church comes back to normal. But again, we can't, because you see, this is not the issue of churches. It's a government issue.
Right.
The government issues the guidelines and the instructions and the way you should do, and definitely we have to follow that.
Right.
In fact, on 6th, we were so optimistic that we are coming back to church. And actually, we were so ready. We had meetings on how we are coming back.
Oh.
And there was, I think, 10 points on what to do when we are coming back. One of the points was we must buy a booth, sanitizers booth,
Yes.
whereby people who come
Just
through.
walk through, yes.
Yeah, and
Good idea.
and again we were looking for the temperature guns, but again we have them right now.
Yes.
That one I know it's in place. But the church actually is we are trying all we can, and we are praying, because again this is now beyond the church.
Right.
Because remember, the church is part of the state. And if it is part of the state, then we fall under the state's
Right.
regulations and laws.
Yes.
And therefore, we are just praying that this will be opened after July. But again, I know there will be some conditions.
Right.
And looking at our church, you know, our church is big.
Yes.
And you see, when we were trying to count, like how many people are supposed to be accommodated in our church.
Yes.
You know, at the moment we accommodate 2,500 to 3,000. Okay? When we counted, we found we can only accommodate 396 people
Okay.
in our church now. And that means that probably it's like maybe one zone coming to the church.
Yes.
Then the other Sunday, another zone.
Oh.
And that may be there.
It will
But
take us a couple of months.
yes, for one person to come to the church.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Now, you know, Joyce here happens to be our former secretary in the previous office.
Oh.
Joyce. Yes.
Oh, she
She's
was.
our former secretary. In the
She's
previous
well
office.
experienced in that area.
Yes.
Good.
Now, Joyce, you know our youth.
Yeah.
You have been in the office previously. We're talking about the Christian youth perspective. What do you think we as the young people, now that Reverend has been telling us about what the church is doing, what can the young people do right now? Because we are the ones in society. Sisi ndio tunajua fulani ya jakula. You know, tunajuana. What do you think we as the young people can do as the extra hands of Jesus? Because basically, the church is the hands of Jesus. What can we do, we as the young people?
Yeah. As the youth of the church,
Yes.
and we know each other as the youth.
Yes.
We know the members around the youth. I think it's good to keep in touch from the leaders above. That is our chairman, our patron, our secretary. It's good to keep in touch with all the members, because we are lucky enough to be in a season whereby we have the phones, so
Sure.
it's easy for us to keep in touch.
Right.
And also volunteer. it's good to volunteer in the society, not just staying around and you're not doing something. Get involved. As you're also keep in touch, get involved. There are so many activities that the government is trickling down for the youth to volunteer. And be there for each other. It's good to be there for each other. We are all affected, yes, but we react differently. We react differently to the effect of this corona.
Right.
So it's good to keep in touch. It's good to volunteer where you can, and also do something. Do something. We have a lot of time. Do something. Get that skill that you've been thinking about. Work on it. Strategize, and yeah, you'll be good in the society.
How about keeping fit?
Yes, apparently everyone is keeping fit.
I thought so too.
In the morning when I'm going to work along Thika Road, everyone is running. So it's good also because physical health helps the mind. I don't know how true that is it, but it's good also to keep physical fitness.
I think about physical health and the mind is when you're fit health-wise.
Yes.
Even what you process upstairs
Yes.
also becomes, and then you also give no room for the devil to occupy your mind. You know, when you're busy physically, also you engage your mind as
So
well.
you don't have the idle time.
There's less room for idle time and
Yes,
for the
yes,
devil to make your mind
Yeah.
our action.
Yeah, true.
It's interesting. So now, adversity or difficulty, struggles in our lives. How do we cope with them? Now, I'm thinking this time round, there's been a lot that has come up. Actually, in fact, someone asked, how do we cope with unexpected relationship realities? You know, that is one of the hardships that I'd say we are really facing right now. Unexpected the unexpected relationship realities. What do we do?
Okay. You know, if that question is not addressed to the youth, they'll say that hiyo show haikuwa. That one I know. And I know there are so many people, especially the youths, that they are involved in some kind of relationship. And most of these relationships have gone sour because of what is happening. And one of the things that I want to say is that before now I answer that, I want to ask and to say, on what foundation did you build your relationship? If you build your relationship on monetary values, and now COVID comes, you are rest assured that there will be some kind of a downfall.
Okay.
If you build your relationship on beauty, hata mtu anaendanga huku anachomeka na anazeeka, si ndio?
Kabisa.
I think we need to understand on what foundation did you build your relationship?
Foundation.
Yes, foundation is
Hold that,
critical.
the foundation.
Yes.
Hold that thought right there. Mchungaji amesema foundations are the key thing that you need to be factoring right now when you're focusing on our relationships. Please, stay right here. Stay with us. Send in your questions, your concerns, and everything you want us to talk about. Mchungaji amesema we need to realize or to establish your relationship yako na huyo mtu wa yours iko founded on nini. We're taking this short commercial break. When we return, so much more is lined up for you. Please, don't go away.
Zimmerman Church, or visit our website www.nimpa.ac.ke. Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts, nurturing talent for self-actualization. Wondering where and how to learn videography with live streaming and music master classes? At Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts, NIMPA, we have a one-month program for individuals and churches. The following master classes will be offered: videography, live streaming technique, instrument and performance. Our courses are practical. Upon completion of the course, NIMPA will assist the graduate in setting up a live stream control center. Enroll now for any of these courses by visiting our offices, which are located off Committee Road, opposite Pcea Zimmerman Church.
At NIMPA offers two main courses, and these are music performance and music technology. Both courses are offered under the instruction of well-qualified instructors, working with well-renowned and established industry mentors, and very qualified tutors. We offer courses that are 80% practical, giving opportunities for skill development to our students, and at the
Wondering where and how to learn videography with live streaming and music master classes? At Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts, NIMPA, we have a one-month program for individuals and churches. The following master classes will be offered: videography, live streaming technique, our website www.nimpa.ac.ke. Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts, nurturing talent for self-actualization.
So you're coming us back? That's your camera, eh?
Welcome back to this afternoon's show. I hope you're really enjoying the discussion like I am. We've been joined by yet another panelist. Please.
John Matu Thank you for the welcome. We can continue.
All right, so our vice chairperson has joined us to help weigh in on these matters. So as we were going on the break, we were talking about the foundations of the relationships that we were saying that are currently being strained. We're still receiving your questions. And amongst the questions, I will read them out. Sally from Nakuru says, my boyfriend broke up with me this week simply because we've not managed to see each other for the last 3 months since the county lockdown began. I feel disappointed since I love him. Kindly advise. Mchungaji, ndio hawa watu wako.
Okay.
Then there's another one called Ken, watching us from Thika. He said he got laid off from work a month ago. Before then, he was in a stable relationship. And after losing his job, his girlfriend broke up with him, saying, haezi date Charlie broke. He says he's a born-again young man. Atafanya nini? Now, coming back to the question of foundations, na hawa watu wawili. Please, tufanye nini na hizi relationships zetu?
Okay, what I was talking about on what foundations did you found your relationship?
Yes.
If you founded your relationship on the wrong footing, then be assured that it might collapse. But if you founded it on the right footing, it might stand, and it can stand. Now, going back to one of the people who asked a question, that the boyfriend, the girlfriend is leaving the boyfriend because Charlie broke.
Yeah.
You see now, I think when they were dating and they were moving together in that relationship, I think for the girl, because now the issue is a girl, she was dating this guy because of money. And now that there is no money, and that was the foundation, then it has to break because there is no money. And I think, to me, young guys, I want to tell you, the most important thing when you're doing your relationships and you're dating, the most important thing is on what foundation are you founding your relationship. If you found your relationship on God's promises and on God's issues, then come May what, your relationship haitaisha. And you see, the other person says that they can't meet because of what is happening. And I think that person is limiting him or herself. I don't know whether she or he, but she is limiting herself, or he is limiting herself. Because these days, you people, you are so lucky. It is unlike our days that you could only write a letter, take 3 months before it reaches. But anyway, we dated and we got courtships. You see now, you people, you are a bit lucky because these phones, they have facilities where you can even do a video call. You can Zoom one another. So you don't have to meet all where they are, unless you want something else. And praise the Lord. Yeah, unless there is some other agenda, hidden agenda that is there, that is causing you to feel that this is really, it can't work because of the distance. You can Zoom one another. You can video call one another. You can see one another, isn't it? Because the issue is not actually meeting. The issue is about even discussing and seeing one another, and you can see one another. And therefore, that is why I'm saying the foundation is very critical here. Because if you found your relationship on certain grounds, the Bible says all other grounds are sinking sand. Yes.
Wacha turushie boy child.
Yes.
Boy child, watu wanaachana sababu hawaonani. Sure. Sally amesema yeye aliacha sababu boy child anasema hatuonani. Mwingine naye amesema ati sasa ako broke. Speak to your brothers.
Now I think mchungaji has put it very clearly that kama unaachwa juu hamuonani, it means that relationship kuna vitu ambapo mnafanya, because there are many avenues as the young people that we can utilize nowadays za kuonana, za kuongea, unlike their times. So ukisikia naachwa, it means that relationship was not even the right one to start with. It is either kulikuwa na mtu mwingine kando, na sasa wakati huo mwingine ametokea akaona hapana. The other one of the money, it means that simply from the word go, that relationship was material. there was nothing more there that the lady wanted from this guy other than what he had to offer, which is automatically the money, since the guy was employed. And now since the guy is laid off, the lady thinks, whatever I wanted here, kisima kimekauka. Let me move on to other better things. Yes.
Good. I like how you're coming. Sasa niambie, tunafaa tuangalie ama kama wewe sasa relationship inafaa iko founded na nini? Hii COVID imeleta maneno mengi.
Sure. You see, when you talk to ladies, I will say as a guy, they will tell you they are looking kwa mwanamume, especially wale watu wa church. Wanasema kwanza God fearing, mtu akona roho mzuri. Where did then the money come from? If they're from the word go, you wanted a God fearing man and a man who has a good heart. Then where did the money come from?
Sasa kama akona roho mzuri ananipeleka pizza.
Those are add-ons of somebody who has now been withdrew. Umeona roho yake, mnaamua sasa tukakule pizza. But if the pizza is withdrawn from the equation, then that thing collapses. Yes.
Okay, so my boy children wafanye nini? Waangalie tu wale wenye hawataki pizza. Lakini tunataka pizza.
Pizza is good, na sijakataa pizza. Pizza is, I also love pizza, and I also want to go out and eat pizza.
Sasa pizza ndio naona uko na roho mzuri.
Ukinibanike kupaia pizza, unaona kijana ako na pesa. Tuzidi kukula pizza. Pesa ikiisha, na wewe unaisha na hiyo pizza.
Bana, sasa sijui tutasurvive aje na hii maneno. Anyway, tuendelea tu kujikaza kwa sababu ni kunaoma kuliko before. Now, I want to throw a spanner in the works. Mchungaji. Most recently, it has been reported thousands of pregnancies. Na hawa ambao wanakuwa impregnated ni youth, because a young person is anyone between 15 years and 35. Ama maybe imeshuka kidogo sababu najua pia kuna wale wanaingia junior youth wakiwa below 15. But there's an increase in the rate of pregnancy. In fact, one of our viewers has sent in a question saying their daughter has been impregnated, their teenage daughter has been impregnated by a fellow teen boy during school closure. Juzi tu ile waliambiwa waende nyumbani. Anasema she's confused and thus needs guidance. So tuko pia na wazazi ambao maybe they are tuned and they are also wondering tutafanya nini? Na please mzazi kama uko hapo, ambia watoto wako waje wakaribia hapa hivi tuongee hii maneno. Hii maswali ni yetu sisi wote. So back to our question. Teen pregnancies. So basically pregnancies are on the rise. Na ni sisi, we are the young people. Wazazi pia wanashindwa watafanya nini? So please speak to us as both the young people and the parents, and considering today is Father's Day.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it is so unfortunate that we found a certain report last week, I think from the Ukambani, that 4,000, that was the report that was given, young girls have been impregnated. And that lady is also crying, and it's not only that lady. There are so many other cases that have not been reported. And it is true, and we say it's so unfortunate about this. But again, I think there are things that we need to take, some measures that we need to take in order for us to curb this kind of a problem. Because now, if the trend goes on, now, one, you've destroyed the life of that girl. Number two, the parent of that child is also affected in one way or the other. Stress imeingia. Amekasirika hata home hawaongeleshani. So it is a combination, that issue brings a combination of other effects that are within the family. But I think as far as the parents are concerned, I think we need to be a bit vigilant, and we need to be a bit cautious with our children. We don't just release our children and we just don't care what they are doing, where they are, what issues are they watching in their phones and all that kind of stuff. We have to look and see how we can engage these children and teach them some of the bad vices within that age bracket and some of the dangers that are there. In fact, I would say pregnancy is also a problem, but that is not the problem per se. The problem is what is in the mind. What is this child bringing in from the phone? And you know, today you see every teenager has a phone. my teenager has a phone. And sometimes we don't even care as parents what they watch. Because we have internet and we have Wi-Fi, we have bundles, and he has some little coin, because as low as 10 shillings, my brother, you can do a lot of things. So sometimes the parents need to be a bit cautious on what these young people are watching. Because before they engage into that act, you know, they must have had, or they must have gone to probably pornography. They may have gone to naked girls, naked boys, and do some of those stuff they do. And therefore, we need to check on what are they really watching. What is this that they are watching? Number two, we need to look at how we can engage them with other activities. Because today, I hear there are some, for those that are in primary school per se, there are some lessons that come there through the radio.
Yes.
But they sometimes don't care. They don't care. They don't even listen to them. So as a parent, you also need to look on how to engage your child.
Right.
For instance, my 17-year-old boy finished last year, Form 4.
Yeah.
And through that period of COVID-19, there is a project that I'm doing. And he is in charge. I come to work, but that small project that we are doing, I leave it to him and tell him, angalia hawa wazee wakiendelea na kazi, na we pia ufanye. And at the end of the week, I also give him a few coins to buy for credit, but me and my wife, we are a bit careful. Ni nini anawatchingi huko? We have to look at that.
But now, on that matter, mchungaji,
Yeah.
you know, in my opinion, the buck doesn't just stop on the parent.
Yeah.
Sababu saa zingine, ni mimi.
Yes, you.
Ni mimi. I
Yes.
remember some time back we had this campaign that came to us. We had this Ni Mimi team where basically we talk about I am in charge of the decisions and what I do with my life.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, iko wakati inafika, my mom won't keep looking at ni nini nafanya all the
Yeah,
time.
sure, that
There's
is
this
true.
aspect of self-discipline. Mimi ni mtu mkubwa. Unajua pia, you ought to be setting a good example ya wale wenye wamekufuata hapo nyuma. So in my opinion, I think young ladies, at the end of the day, that pregnancy you can keep away from. I remember my mom used to tell me, husband number one, or the first thing I should actually work towards, is my job and my independence. Husband number two will be the trouser bearer. Lakini I also feel that wazazi siku hizi hamtuambii maneno. Where are our uncles and our aunties who used to tell us these manenos? Or John, maybe I can ask you, when you're growing up, were you always followed up? And now because you have younger siblings, are you always following up on them?
I think the elephant in the room is parents nowadays are shying off from the sex talk with these young people. Because nowadays these people are becoming active when they are very, very young. And they want to experiment. These are very, very experimental people. So I think parents should go back to the basics. Just like the way, when I was in high school, I was sat down and told, this is how it goes. When you do this and that, be sure you'll bring a baby here. And I don't want that for you. So maybe probably a follow-up question I would ask to Mchungaji regarding to that. Last week I was talking to a parent, and they were giving me an example. They have a boy, like yours, who cleared the Form 4.
Yes.
But the parent now realized this boy is sexually active. They tried talking to the boy, but the parent thinks the boy is out of control. So what the parent did, she went, it's a lady, she went, bought a pack of condoms, put them at the dining table, and told the boy, listen, if you're to do this, use this. So what's your take on that, Mchungaji?
Wow, that's very tricky.
What?
That's very tricky. However, as a Christian, we don't advocate anything to do with sex before marriage.
Right.
We don't advocate for that. And I am trained with what we call trainer of trainers in mambo ya HIV. I don't exercise it so much, TOT. But one of the things they were teaching us is about something to do with ABC. Okay? But from the Christian perspective, we are strictly on A, abstain.
So maybe you can expand on the ABC in case there's someone who doesn't know what ABC stands for.
Okay. A, according to what they were teaching us,
Yes.
A is you abstain
Yes.
completely. Number 2, let me jump to number 3. They were talking about the CDs, the condoms, what now you are talking about.
Yeah.
And they were saying that if that was to happen, and mind you now, these were not religious organizations. They were secular. So they did not have the boundary. Okay? So they were saying that if it was to happen, you must carry that condom, okay?
Yes.
But for us as a minister, I would strictly orient myself with A. Okay?
Yeah.
Because as a young man, John,
Yes.
I would not expect you being born again, or my sister here being born again, na vile naona uko na psyche ya God. I don't expect you to use the other two to be careful, or the condom. I would expect you, the first thing is to abstain until that very day.
Until I do.
Until that very day you do.
But Mchungaji, coming back to that, what then happens of the children who have not been brought up the Christian way? Because if you say that, we might be living in them out and telling them, you do whatever you want. Yes, wacha wale watu wamelelewa kwa Ukristiano, waendelee na kuabstain. Nyinyi wengine mwenye hamjalelewa, you can do whatever you want. I think we would be giving that leeway.
Well, I may not necessarily say so, but that is why I said, you know, we are in a church setup, okay?
Sure.
And you're all born again. And I think you are spirit-filled, going to heaven, express.
Of course.
But now, the issue here is, you're asking about what the other secular people, what would we say?
Yes.
And that is why I said they taught us, and we were taught, or people are taught, that if that was to happen, if it is an outside case, secular, you understand secular?
Yes.
If it is a secular case, then the other options they are given is a
The
C.
B and the C.
Yes. But you see, even if they are given, you know what will happen? They will not really use that thing because they want to go it live. Right? They want to go it live. They will use it once, and then the next day, hii kitu hata nini. Unaona? So, to me, as a minister, I would urge you, together with the rest of you,
Sure.
concentrate on it.
Abstinence.
Yes, until that very day. Number 2, don't involve yourself with those things that entice you towards that. You know, if you provoke your mind to something, the mind will start telling you, this is what I need to do. Then it communicates to the body. Then the body now reacts. You see? So I think for me, I would also urge you to avoid every kind of a situation where you are putting in your mind about this. I don't know whether you people, but I know many young people are involved in what we call pornographic materials. And they are very addictive, okay? And you know what happens to pornographic materials is that when you start seeing those photos, then it comes into your mind. Then your mind tells your body, I think I need this. The next thing that you do, and that is why you see some of men, they are just like mad, looking for women, for girls everywhere, because they already put into their minds about that, and they are now conditioned to that, okay? And then later on, you see these people, they are just like loose guys. You get it?
Yeah. So we basically ought to really look out for what we feed our minds.
Absolutely.
That's a
Very
great
serious.
insight right there, Mchungaji.
Yes.
Now, One of the ladies who sent in the question asked, their daughter is pregnant.
Yes.
They were impregnated this time when they were coming from school. When now the schools were told, now it's time to go home. So what basically happens now? Anaomba advice. What
Yes.
would you say to such a parent and many others who are basically confronted with such a situation?
Yes.
Yeah. What would be your advice to such parents?
I would say that if it has happened, I would tell that parent to accept it. Because if she doesn't, she will stress herself up and she will not rectify the situation because it is already there, okay? So I would say, let the parent accept it. Then she needs now to take the girl and handle that girl in a better way because that girl is also tormented. In fact, it is not only the mother.
Yeah.
The girl is more tormented. And before the mother was tormented, the girl was tormented more long before when that happened or when she knew what is in her stomach, okay? So the girl also is in a very serious state where now the mother needs also to take time to look for a counselor so that she can be taken through some counseling sessions where the girl herself needs to accept it happened and I have now to live with this, what is in my stomach, okay? So I don't want the woman or that lady to react like how many women and men react when they have known their girl is pregnant. Because some men react very seriously, and even the other ladies, they chase the girl away from home, they beat her. You see, you're adding a problem on top of another. So I would say, let the mother swallow the bitter pill at the moment to accept it and to start handling the girl and accept the girl because it is her daughter. Then from there, I think she can be able to talk to some people within her community, those that are, of course, professional in this area, and then try to let the girl to be advised, not only the girl, even herself.
Yeah.
I don't know whether she's a single parent.
Well, it was not indicated.
And if it is a single parent, that's okay. If she is not single, she has her husband, this should be a collective engagement whereby now all of them, they need to be taken through some sort of counseling so that they can be able to know how to handle this girl and what to do with this girl at the moment.
Right.
Otherwise, if they are left like that, then they will be tormented, they will be angry, and that is when you find even the girl, at times they go and commit suicide because she cannot bear anymore. The mother hates her, the boy aliruka, because most men wanaruka, you see? She cannot go outside within the community because she's so shy. She can be able to handle herself out there. She will be stigmatized. You see, those kind of things. So if they don't get really, she doesn't take really good care about this and the seriousness, I mean the seriousness that it deserves, then she might find herself and the daughter going to other levels that would be even more worse. Hata watu wengine wanaingia kwa depression. And you know, the other day I was dealing with a depression case, and this person would go berserk. I mean, you know, those kind of things we don't want to have to happen. Let her go and seek some kind of counseling somewhere together with the girl.
All right. So basically, we need to stay within the confines of the A, which is abstinence.
Yes.
And if the situation has come now, like where we have a teenage daughter, parent, please accept the situation. I think when we were beginning, Reverend spoke about accepting the situation and adjusting to the times. Because even if you look around in society, we end up having abortion. Something else that maybe came to my mind even as we're talking about this, the whole idea of abortion.
Yes.
Because the young person is afraid of the stigma in society. This person is stressed at home. The environment at home is also it's not conducive. So basically, we need to adjust and accept. Besides, there's an innocent life involved. So I think at the end of the day, it's basically handling the situation as it is.
Yes.
Well, we keep talking about many things and basically adjusting And these questions are going to be here, and the issues that are coming up because of COVID-19 will keep coming up every day, every time. The issues are many. Please keep sending in your questions, and your concerns on these pages. Reverend is available. Once you send your questions and ideas to the groups, he's going to be able to respond to them, even if, say, on a lump sum, say, in another show. It's been really nice just having this show, having this discussion, and we hope that so far it has been of help to you. What you can simply say is, there has been the guidelines that the Ministry of Health has put forth. Kindly follow them to the latter. Stay safe. And in the meantime, put your trust on Jesus. He will never leave us or forsake us. All these things, eventually, he's going to bring us to the end of it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. We only need to hang in there, stay faithful, and basically look forward to a good time, and good days are coming. For those of you who are having a hard time, maybe because you've not been able to go to church, one of the concerns that was someone is unable to carry on because of not being able to go to church, kindly reach out. Help is at hand. You can still write through the same pages and the same forums. Pcea Zimmerman Parish on Facebook, Pcea Zimmerman Parish on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel, as well as the parish office is open. You can always come and you'll be advised. It has been a real pleasure hosting this show. We look forward to many more. I have been your presenter, Wangari Karen Minor, and until next time, God bless you, keep safe, and together, tutaweza. Bye-bye.
Amen.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.